we need to talk about Erling. You've got petitions to ban him and deport him because he's just too good. And I'm sure this guy must have started those.
Erling Haaland will not live up to the expectation. I am so bored. People are saying that he's going to win the Golden Boot. That is outrageous.
And why is Erling Haaland so good? Well, the lazy response is to just say he's not human. He's a robot. He's a cheat code. But it's simpler than that. Despite what he physically does, you know, those Olympic sprinter runs, bullying of defenders, and acrobatic leaps, everything that fuels these things is his mindset. And there's one secret about Erling Haaland's mentality that's the true source of his insane start to life in the Premier League. Let's explore this secret. So to explain this, we need a football history lesson. Erling Haaland is a striker. And how do we judge how good a striker is? Well, for the most part, it's how many goals they score. And what is it that allows those judgments to be made? Well, expectations. The belief that someone should score a certain amount of goals per season. And the interesting thing is that throughout history, most strikers have had more modest expectations. When I was growing up, there was an endless pool of world-class strikers in the 2000s. R9, Henry, Van Nistelrooy, Raul, Shevchenko, Drogba, Eto'o, the list goes on. And the interesting thing is that despite them being world-class strikers and believing they could score every game, it was generally expected that a world-class striker should aim to bag around 30 goals a season. That this was the expectation for these guys. And you know what? For the most part, these guys hit those expectations, or scored a few more each season. Now, these numbers are impressive, but for most of these guys, it meant that their goals-to-game ratio was a bit better than 1 goal every 2 games. And then, something interesting happened. In the 2010s, 2 guys came along and decided that, you know what, 30 goals a season would be an okay season. Why not aim to score every game? And they did just that. Messi and Ronaldo, for the best part of a decade, scored pretty much a goal a game. And the interesting thing is that every season, we expected it. If either of these players had 2 games without scoring a goal, we'd be concerned, and this was a serious drought. The expectation of what a world-class forward could do went up so many notches. Scoring 50 to 60 goals a season was the standard. That was the expectation now. But the question can be asked, did we reserve that for just them? Many have put Messi and Ronaldo on this pedestal, that we will never see anything like them ever again. But this is where Haaland comes in. He's genuinely placed the expectation on himself to reach those standards and, who knows, go even higher. We see this in his post-match interviews where he's never celebratory about the number of goals he scored. He always thinks he should score more. This was his response to scoring 2 goals on his Premier League debut.
It should have been more today, but yeah, okay start.
Could have been more. You think you should have walked away with a hat-trick?
Yeah, I could. If you saw the Gundo right before I went off, I should have been there, so but that's how it is.
And this was his response to scoring back-to-back hat-tricks.
Erling, another match ball. Did you enjoy that out there tonight?
Yeah, amazing. Nothing more to say.
For Haaland, he honestly believes scoring 1 goal a game is a bad game. Scoring 2 goals a game is an okay game, and scoring 3 goals a game is actually a good game. And why is this? Well, you could say this is football's Roger Bannister moment. Who? Roger Bannister was the first runner in the world to officially break the 4-minute mile. He did this in 1954, and the thing is, as much as this is fairly commonplace now among top runners, back then it was actually believed to be physically impossible. This landmark had stood for decades, no one could achieve this time, and medical doctors said that the human body could not achieve such a feat. But the interesting thing was that after Bannister ran this time, so did someone else. Australia's John Landy ran a sub 4-minute mile just 46 days later. And within a year of this achievement, 24 other runners had done it too. And today, the world record for the mile stands at 3 minutes and 43 seconds. So how does this relate to Erling Haaland? Well, if you think about it, historically the expectations of a striker were the same for so long. 30 goals a season would qualify as a great season. Then Messi and Ronaldo came along and we saw that 50 goals a season then qualifies as a great season. But with Haaland, it seems that he honestly believes that this is another barrier to be broken. Instead of trying to score a goal every other game like the world-class strikers of the 2000s, or trying to score a goal every game like Messi and Ronaldo, Haaland genuinely believes that he is able to score more than 1 goal a game. He is right now the living embodiment of what psychologists call the expectancy effect. When someone expects a given result, that expectation unconsciously affects the outcome of the expected result. Now, that's not to say just expecting things to happen will make them happen. You've actually got to have the talent, skills, and put in the work. But that's what Haaland is doing. What's now taken him to this next level are these insanely ambitious but very achievable expectations that he's placing on himself. What we are seeing now is an evolution in what people believe is really possible from a world-class striker. Messi and Ronaldo paved the way of breaking through limiting beliefs about how many goals a forward should score. And Erling Haaland now has the potential to break through this next insanely high ceiling of expectations that the 2 greatest players we have ever seen have set. So how many goals will Erling Haaland score this season? 50, 60, 70? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.